I want to introduce you to two characters. These are Orisha in the Afro-Brazilian tradition, cultural arts tradition. We have different characters in the folklore. So these are two of the characters from Afro-Brazilian folklore, and they are brothers. One is named Ogun, and he dances with a machete. So everybody make your hand into a machete. Put your fingers together and imagine you've got a sharp blade here and reel back and whoosh, slice. And Ogun, he lives in the forest and he clears the path. So anything that's getting in our way, we can see it and clear that path, get rid of it, and maybe make new paths for ourselves in our lives. This is what Ogun represents. So take your machete, maybe you have two machetes. Sometimes we have a shield and a sword. Everyone practice that version? Awesome, you guys. So his brother is named Oshosi, and Oshosi hunts with bow and arrow. So I'm going to show you how to make an imaginary bow and arrow, okay? Make L with your left hand. Mirror me. L with your left hand, and then hook onto your thumb with your pointer finger, and voila, you've got your bow and arrow. So everyone show me your bow and arrow. It could be like this, it could be like that, either way. And then use your eyes, use your imagination, crouch around in the forest, see your prey, and you're always gonna bring that prey home to feed your community. Oshosi is very associated with community building and always only hunts to feed his community. So he goes into the forest to get food and brings it home for his community. One time, a big bird came into this village and it landed on top of one of the buildings. And this bird, it was so big. And it was way too big. It was so big that it started blocking out the sun. And all the plants started to shrivel up and die, and the people couldn't live without the sun, with this big bird blocking the sun. So the Orisha Ogun, the biggest, toughest warrior, he went out there and he took his bow and arrow and he took aim at the bird and he missed. So he called in Oya, the fierce female warrior of the wind, to try and get rid of this bird and bring the sun back. And she got her wind going and she pushed and she pushed and she tried to get the bird out of there, but it didn't work. And they tried, every warrior in the village tried and tried to free the village of this bird. And finally, they went down to the river and they saw this little boy playing next to the river. And this little boy had one arrow on his back and his bow and arrow, but just one arrow with his bow. And they said, please, will you please at least try to come and help us? We really need your help and none of us can do this task. We need your help. And so Shosi agreed. And he went up to the building and he drew out his one arrow and he loaded it into his bow and he took his aim and he got it. And the sun came back and all the plants came back and all the people rejoiced. And at that time, they crowned this little boy king. And they said, your name is no longer Oshotokan Shosho like it was before. We're going to call you Oshosi. And that's how Oshosi was crowned king and earned his name. So I'm going to show you some rhythms that we play for Ogun and Oshosi. So our rhythms are reflective of the Orisha and their personalities, right? So you can imagine Ogun is kind of an intense guy. He's vicious, he's a warrior, and sometimes he even goes hunting like for no reason, just for the enjoyment of it. And we play a rhythm for him called Vasi. And that Vasi rhythm, it's a little bit complicated, but I think you guys can do it. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Clap your hands. we go fast. So you can feel Ogun's energy in that rhythm, yeah? And we can learn those rhythms. Sometimes they're a little complex, but it's really fun to learn them. Oshosi's rhythm is a little bit easier, so try this one with me. It's called agere. A rhythm is called agere for the Orisha Oshosi. And that one goes like this, 2 claps and then 3 claps. Good, you guys. Easy peasy, right? And let's do one more. This one, maybe we can sing with our mouths. It's a bit of a song, and we use both of the bells in this rhythm. This rhythm is called Ijesha, and this is a rhythm for Oshun, the beautiful Orisha of the sweet water. Starts up here on the high bell. 1, 2, ready, here we go. So try it with your hands. And then we'll try it with our singing mouths, okay? Try it with your hands. Ready, go. Or we can say beady bom ba dum beep beep bom bom beady bom ba dum beep beep bom bom beady bom ba dum beep beep bom beady bom ba dum beep beep bom. That's Ijesha for Oshun.